everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, bringing to another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And today I wanted to discuss and share my thoughts with all of you about the shocking conclusion to the June 21st, 2024 edition of Smackdown, with the debut of Jacob Fatu, who made his first appearance on SmackDown and took out Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, and joined the Bloodline as the new Bloodline closed out the show with their fingers high up in the air. And what does this mean for SmackDown? Well, if it's anything to go by what we saw this week, SmackDown is in major trouble. And I mean that in the nicest way. Ever since WrestleMania 40, when Roman Reigns lost the WWE title to Cody Rhodes, I thought the Bloodline, for all intents and purposes, were pretty much done because the head of the table, the tribal chief Roman Reigns, is gone, and Jey Uso is on Raw. Jimmy Uso was taken out by Solo Sikoa, and now we have a brand new bloodline comprised of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and the newest member, Jacob Fatu, who, quite frankly, could very well be the most dangerous member of the bloodline and just looked like a complete werewolf. I know the term beast or monster gets thrown around a lot, but for me, Jacob Fatu looked like an absolute werewolf. He just took out anything and everything in his path. And you have to give props to WWE, for keeping the Bloodline storyline going and keeping it fresh. I mean, we're coming up to nearly 4 years now since this whole thing started. And just when you thought things were starting to get a little bit stale or maybe a bit boring, they completely do a U turn and just freshen up the whole thing all over again and just constantly add layer upon layer upon layer. And this new bloodline just looks like a real scary beast. And with Solo Sikoa leading the way, you have to really ask yourself, who can stop these guys? And I can't help but feel that somewhere along the way, and I've talked about this, everybody else has talked about this, we are going to see a bloodline civil war like we have never seen before. I guarantee you, when, not if, but when Roman Reigns finally does return, it is going to be World War III on SmackDown, to say the very least. And I think all of this is going to lead to a massive War Games match at Survivor Series. Roman Reigns' bloodline versus Solo Sikoa's bloodline. You can see it coming. How will we get there is another story. But right now, if anything is to go by what we saw at the conclusion of this week's SmackDown, God help everyone. That is all I'm going to say. But I'm really digging this, and everyone is looking impressive. Paul Heyman just stood there in just absolute pure fear, like, oh my God, what's just happened? And Wade Barrett said it best: Solo, what have you done? Indeed, what have you done? Wow. Unbelievable conclusion to SmackDown, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this is going. Is this going to lead to some sort of handicap match at Money in the Bank? Possibly. Who knows, really? But I can tell you this right now: Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes, they're not going to take this lying down. They're going to answer this attack on next week's SmackDown. I can guarantee you that. And I've got a feeling they are going to challenge this new bloodline to a handicap match. Don't know when, could be on SmackDown. I personally think it should be at the Money in the Bank pay per view, but either way, we're getting a match. Not 100% confirmed, but they would be nuts not to book this kind of match. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What was your thoughts on the conclusion of SmackDown? Did you enjoy it? What did you think of Jacob Fatu's debut? Was you impressed? How did he look to you? Do you think he could be the wild card in the new Bloodline? And where do you think this is all going to lead to? Do you think this is possible? It could lead to a massive War Games match at Survivor Series. How will Roman Reigns react to this when he does eventually return? Where does Paul Heyman fit into all of this? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.